How's everyone? How are you guys? Have some exciting stuff to show today. This one. Oh, actually, I forgot the music. Let me go find some cool music. Go in here first. Alright, what type of music do you want? I think we're gonna start with medieval, so I'm just gonna Ori. I guess you can't go wrong with that. You know, how's the volume? Yeah, I'm doing good. Hey, guys. Alright, so in this stream, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna have a blank island and I'm just gonna be building some medieval architecture in a modular way. So what does modular mean, first of all? Modular means that it's kind of like a detachable puzzle. You can mix and match pieces from one building to another. And the whole beauty of modular is that, say you build something, you spend time building something, that thing can be transferred into another building in a different way, that it still gives it complexity and it looks nice for the eye, but it's different from the first building you did. So I'm just gonna show you the full process in this stream, so you how you can do modular designs, and they're very useful for developing worlds really fast and really effective without you having to go in detail with every single structure. It's alright. So first of all, when you want to make something, you gotta start by building a modular building. So what does that mean? It means that I'm gonna stick to the grid in Fortnite. I'm still gonna use grid snap 2, for example, but I'm gonna add some details into the building that will be... Actually, I'm gonna go with a different style just to start anew. So we said we're gonna start with medieval. I'm gonna find a medieval or more like a fantasy building reference, and then we're gonna try to recreate it. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna save one image. Save the desktop. Gonna go to OBS. Image, there we go. Browse. Desktop. This guy. Okay. And I'm gonna place it somewhere here so you guys can see it as well. So this is like a design that incorporates all the elements that I need for now. So one thing to know is that at least in if you're like somehow believable fantasy, you don't want to go too crazy with it, you gotta stick to very fundamental principles of architecture, at least for those years. So first of all is those buildings, the supporting structures, like the base floors usually are stone, and then floor 2, floor 3, floor 4 is usually wood, and that's because stone is a more dense material and it can support weight, whereas wood does not support weight so well. So usually in those buildings you see stone in the floor, in the base floor, and then you see wood on top of it. So I'm gonna stick to that base principle. First of all, one of the best textures for me when doing this sort of architecture is in Pirate Cove. It's this stone texture wall. It's very nice looking to get that feel of stone, you know, and it works well with medieval and fantasy. It has two sides. I tend to use this side that has the wood because it adds a little bit more flavor. So I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna go with a 6 tile building just for starters, see how it goes from there. Now you would be asking, why are you not building windows and doors and everything? Usually in modular design, you also anticipate the slopes. And usually buildings are not built in like flat terrain, they're built on slopes as well. And usually on slopes, it can be like kind of hard to explain by adding cliffs since we don't have so many. So I'm just gonna place this staircase to illustrate. Usually when it's on a slope, and it's say like this, right? Like you need that base structure to support the weight and then bring the entrance up here, for example. So it's always good to have that base layer covered up. Actually, it's even better if I cover up the lower part as well, in case there is a part that you can see from below, you know? So with that done, let's move into the base. So the base floor, we need wood inside, and we need wood that is not see-through because we don't want the player to see the details yet. So I'm just gonna use this one again, Paraco, very useful gallery. Now, as you can see from this reference, I actually need to bring close so I can see. It has like some sort of white plaster and then just wood beams across. I think this style can be found in Happy Hamlet. So here we have plenty of those pieces to use. It's kind of hard to find the ones you need because they're turned in a weird way. So usually I just place down the full gallery and search for the ones that don't have snow, like these ones. So you can see they're really good. Now I'm not going to be focusing too much on the interior. It's going to be more of an exterior design for now. But you can always go that extra mile if you want, and always remember that you can double wall things. If you don't like the interior like texture, you can always like squeeze it by reducing the depth and then adding your own wall from the inside. Of course, you're not gonna have the grid on your side, but if you go 32, it should be fine. But anyway, I'm not gonna be doing that now. So we need some sort of texture that has the plaster and the wood beams. This is this one. Generally want to use the same interior texture in case we want to do that later. So this one, let's find, this one's good. The interior is a little bit weird. I don't know if we have another one. So we use it, yeah, that's the one. I'm not sure, Moldboy, because this is a very large topic. I don't think I'm going to be able to cover it in one stream. And we're only talking medieval, so there's plenty more where that came from. Like modern, post-apocalyptic, temple stuff. There's so much more. So it will be a while until I do interiors. Alright, so we have this sort of variation. Again, not again, I mean in general, I'm not gonna be worrying about memory too much. And usually when making a modular design, you don't care about memory. The reason is that this is the template of your map. Anything else will copy from that. So this one has to be the most detailed thing you can ever make. And then from that, you take and build other buildings, which then share the same texture as your initial one, and then that's how you save. So rather than worrying about memory and making like a medium like quality building and then trying to do more stuff later on because you need that extra thing, go all in from the beginning, build something that you will like, and you can like take little pieces and move it somewhere else, and then that's how you get like an optimized level that you also have like something interesting to see. And I will show you how this becomes interesting later on. This is just the basic principles for now, but I will move there in a bit. So we need a few more variations. We need a window. Usually they don't use those windows, those rounded windows as you can see in the reference. They use mostly like square windows, and I'm gonna show you how to do the little window blinders, whatever they're called. So this one should be the one we need, but we need the one with the wood inside. I mean, this one's, oh, there we go, that's the one. And then this one. So we grab those two. Oop. Grab the wrong piece. Alright. So I'm not paying attention too much to the chat. Just trying to get those info done, and then I'll read everything. Just give me a sec. Again, for the door, we need the wood beams and stuff. We need the wood inside, so I'll grab this one. So something like this should work for now. Okay. Now again, I did say first floor has to be stone. So what I'm gonna do now is, even though we have something here, I'm just gonna move this one floor up, and this is gonna become a balcony now. So I'm just gonna find a nice little balcony. Do they have one? They don't have one. It's fine, we'll build our own. We know how to build balconies. So I'm just gonna need this guy. Again, I'm still using Happy Hamlet, keep that in mind. Little balcony here. Now, you won't. What happened here? Did I do something wrong? Was I not building the grid? Well, that's weird. Alright, well, we'll have another one. The mine stuff. So I'm just gonna grab it from there. I don't know if somehow it broke or something. Doing wrong here. Interesting. Anyway, I just went to 4 grid just to fix whatever that was, because I was off grid apparently. Since we're doing a little modular design, you need all the variations you can get. So I need all the variations. You don't have the one with the corner, do they? I mean, we do have it in Happy Hamlet. So another rule of modular design is that you need to... Whoa, that's a different color? Interesting. Alright, well, since we found what was the issue, it's going to use this one. You need to have all the variations you need in one design. So then when you want to mix and match, you can just select the one you want, right? Now here, we might need a staircase. Straight staircase though. That's the one. Alright, quick thing, if you want to mirror stuff, you place it on the ground, go building as prop off, set off, and then press M. Grab it again without the grid, without gravity rather. Place it. So we have this. And then have the other side. That should be probably what we need. I mean, there's another variation that goes outside, but let's keep it to that for now. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so that's the second floor. Let's let me read through the chat, see what you guys are saying before I move into the stone floor. Alright, curious to see what is modular design. Hey Gnome, how's it going? Hey Mighty Man. Let's do a call of done. Hey Rodrigo. For this reference, I would use a chimney for the weeping woods. Looks more like it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Or the white wiring of that wall from Craggy. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, the white variant of Craggy, let me see which one you're saying. It's pretty good, but it's very specific. Like, it doesn't have that, like, palette you need, like the color palette. Unless you're doing something more, like, dead, you know? Like, there's no moss, there's no wood color, It's a little bit more dead. If you're doing like a Dark Souls theme, then this one's pretty good to use. Hey, Mr. Great. Alright, so why if I do this stuff I can't build on it? What do you mean, Salty? Should I also try to make this reference? Oh, you mean like build it? I mean, for practice, go for it. Just don't like use it somewhere, you know? Hey Tony, how's it going? Do you ever reference old builds you make to make new ones? Yeah, for sure. I even have like galleries of stuff that I built before, and I use them for future builds sometimes, and then I go from that. So just I remember what I have, you know? Oh, that was it, Dan. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I keep getting confused with that thing with building to prop. This one, suppose this one you mean, right? Anyway, it's a bit too dark. Yeah. All right. Cool. So for the stone one, now stone one. Let me see, because I haven't done this stone one. So let me get a closer look. I think castle. The castle here, actually, easy way to find castle is type ext. You get all the pieces. So they tend to use square windows, which we don't have here. Oh, we do have here. Okay. You know what? I think I'm gonna place the entire thing down. Grab stuff from it. I mean, we can probably use the store, right? The generic looking wall from both sides. It's faster to look on this side because you can find it easier. I know this gallery has it's kind of challenging to find that generic wall. It's somewhere here though, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, we need a couple more. I mean, it's not the same type of... I mean, this is the one that they're using, but we don't have variations that have like windows on this one. So I'm using this one just to use the doors and the windows. I mean, you can make your own, by all means. If you want to make your own, go for it. Like how Stormhawk did his own like styles completely. From scratch, or I think he used like, what was it? It was a wall or like a fence he used all the time. It's been a while. Go find it somewhere here. Oh yeah, he used this one. So I don't know if you guys remember Stormhawk. It was a legendary builder of medieval buildings back in 2019. I remember him using this one, this prop here, to make walls. Or like fences in general. He just inverted the thing and just did fences. Well, we'll get to that point in a bit. Let's just focus on building this house, and then I'm gonna show you like arches and all that cool stuff. So first of all, we need a few more variations. I'm not gonna go too haunted, too mansion-y like vibe. I'm just gonna go with the typical house stuff. So we need a window, and we're good. Oh, I deleted the window because it didn't fit. Let me find a good one. I think this color doesn't have a square window that has stone from both sides. Oh, I could have used this as well for the floors. Let me find the window. Give me a sec. It's a good one. Yeah, this one doesn't have stone either. Oh well, as I've said. Exterior. And then I think this won't fit though, right? Yeah, okay. So I am gonna use the other one then, because it has the same texture on the outside. Okay, and given it's like the ground level, what would you normally see in a ground level? I mean, you probably see wood there as well. So I guess it's the wooden platform for the entrance. Again, this doesn't have to be the entrance area. You don't have to select this if your floor is actual terrain. But that's the beauty of modular. Like, you only use it when you want to use it. It's mainly for selecting the right pieces when you need it. So we have the base floor. Now the one thing I don't like is this like cut here and this cut here. As you can see, they're a little bit too sudden. So let's fix that. Actually, I do have stuff from the external castle here. Now I'm gonna go with what again Stormhood did, because I feel he's my inspiration for doing these builds, so I'm gonna use the one he used. This is this little piece here. I think it's very good. He liked this piece so much he used it like even in places he shouldn't be using it. But it's like so good. You can even use it down here if you want. Okay. So after this, this stream. For this stream, I think Haunted Hills Gallery has a pretty good piece, I think. Wait, was it here? Or was it in the other one? Is it prefabs? Somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this piece here. So I went to Haunted Monster, but it's probably in the normal Haunted. And this piece is pretty good now that I'm here. For stone paths. Gonna grab also this one. And I'm also gonna grab the fences. So what I want to do first, oh yeah, this piece. So let's cover this part first. We can do this in grid 2. Now I need to remember if this has a corner piece. I can't remember. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't think it had one. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't think it had one. But there's a way to fix that. I'll show you how in a sec. Actually, I'll show you now. If you don't have a corner piece for a stream, you usually find, let me go hunt it again, galleries. Here, I think it is. It's where all the pillars are. So what you do is you generally grab a pillar that has like the upper part is a little bit bigger, and then you just raise it by 1. And this way you just avoid having to find a corner trim, and it still looks pretty cool. The only thing is I need to remove this. So this is again a variation. Even though I have to like keep it like this. Actually, do I? Actually, no, I don't. I'll use this one everywhere now, because I have the other variation below. It will all make sense once I build the template of sorts. Because later on when I want to do like corners, I can select those 4 corners instead of those ones, you know? And then just place it there. So we're making a template now. Alright, in regards to this one, I think I'm gonna remove it. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna just place it here. Because I have a better variation, which is this path here. So this path, if you combine it with the pieces that I told you from the prefab in Haunted, increase the height a little bit. And you know what? It looks bad. Never mind. I'm just gonna use the ones I used inside here, which is from Pirate. It's the gravel. I think this one looks a little bit better, I suppose. And then for the fence, you have something like this. You place down the fence, you place the separators, you place the gate, and I think there was a gate door. It's not on the grid, surprisingly. I mean, fences like that are pretty straightforward. If you want to make a more fancy house, well, we're not going to focus on that right now. So we have the second floor, we have the first floor. We need one more, and then I'm going to do roof. So essentially, you just use the same pieces and then try to play a little bit. Maybe here, something like this. Add a window. Actually, not here. Here. There's a door here because this is a balcony. And then you close it. And now let's do the roof. So the roof there is, I see they use like a beige one. I mean, we don't have to do a beige one. Just do one that looks medieval enough, I guess. So how do we, let me think. I want to see which roof to use. Could go Haunted because they have the supporting pieces, if I remember. I mean, you can use any roof you like. Oh, actually, this one looks pretty good. I'm gonna use this one. Or this one even. This one's pretty good as well. But anyway. Even though I'm building a modular design, doesn't mean I'm a modular expert. I do make mistakes, and I think why is this a different scale? Huh? There are a few things that if you really knew modular design, you go like, hey, this guy's not doing it correctly. And I think one mistake I'm doing is that I'm not really covering all the cases here, just building a single house. Why is this so different? That legit needs to be one less. Interesting. Let me find, I'm gonna find something in Google which uses this. It's always good to look at prefabs in case something is weird. That's a weird roof. Could probably fine-tune it a bit. As long as I am in the grid, it should be fine, even though I do like custom designs. You always make sure you're in the grid, and then you'll be fine. Hey Madcap, I'm making a meme style house. Yeah, go for it. And this works with anything. You can do whatever you like. I'm just doing medieval because it's super cool. Alright, and then have this variation. So for this one, want to make sure it's the same. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. I remember somebody said about Weeping Woods, or was it? I think you meant with Shanty? You meant this one, right? What was it, Whipping Woods? Let's see. I need a cool chimney, stone chimney. I need to think. There are a few cool ones. Let's see if this one fits. Textures are not the same, and I don't like that. Anyway. Pop-up dialog device. Huge chimney at the base. Yeah, I'm not going exactly like the reference. I'm just trying to give you like the general consensus. Alright. Okay, let's move into other elements so we can start doing the modular thing. One element usually in those houses is that they have extrusions. So I'm gonna Let me think. It's a bit believable, so I'm just gonna use this one. Scale it down five times. Place it with grid 4. Damn, that roof is gonna be a problem. And then do the same with this one. Seems I need one more in width and a little bit more in depth. Go grid 8 for this. Now this is a custom design, so I'll just keep tweaking until it looks good. But essentially, this is me making my own palette of things, right? So it doesn't have to be something from Fortnite necessarily. It's just I'm not doing it too much because it takes a lot of time to do. But I'm just gonna show you how these details are made. Where was this one? It's placed on. Right. Always need to remember to switch to 0.5 fly. Just make my life easier. Okay, there's there we go, found it. So now, because it's hard to find the scaling again, instead of just doing that, it's gonna come here, exit the grid, and then go on depth to negative, so that just it flips, then go in the grid again and trying to snap it to where it was. So that's how you mirror a prop without the mirror function. Gonna place it in place. Be a little bit more out. Okay, and now I need to go grid just to make this happen. But this is something I only have to design once, so it's no big deal. We give it a roll, and then we just enjoy. It's up to you if you want to make it so that you can see the floor or inside. Oh, I didn't know this is the lower parts. Is it Paradise that has the wood looking platform? Yeah. So Paradise. So This is non-see-through wooden floor from both sides. And now say you wanna like cover those edges, right? Pirates, the Pirate Cove has another amazing prop, this one, which I tend to use a lot. And it's pretty cool looking wood trim. And it kinda fits everywhere. Has the little bolts as well as an extra. As you can see, I tweaked a little bit the width and the depth just to fine tune it to where I need it to be. Okay, so now we have that. You may need some support. You don't always have to use it, but again, we're building something that we're gonna use most of the times. So, was it here? It was here. So Mine Gallery has the wooden support. Again, we scale down. Scale props on build to prop off can be mirrored. Oh yeah. I did show that method first, Steve. But the other method is useful when it doesn't support that. Alright, so now we have the supports, even though I'm not really a fan because they're different color. You know what? We're building our own modular thing. Might as well do something that looks cool. So I'm gonna build my own, just so I can get the same color going. Again, if you're going with the optimized memory, you can still like use the other assets, but trust me, you can use the same assets multiple times. And sometimes that's like the way to go. You'll save so much memory. So sometimes even custom builds are more optimal than using unique assets. And they're definitely more consistent in terms of color. They're more flexible as well. As you can see now, I can customize the design into any way I want. Always build on the grid, because that's way easier to copy things. I mean, you can do freeform as well. I'm gonna try freeform as well, but it has like its benefits and its drawbacks. All right, so we have the extrusion. That's a core piece that we're gonna need. As you can see, it's half grid, almost half grid. I think it might be, yeah, half grid. And so yeah, we're gonna need lots of these pieces to create our palette of modularity, if you will. Now usually you want lights inside the houses. You don't always have to copy the lights, but there's a couple of ways doing it. First way is using well, cubes that have like neon, like an emissive material. So you have this variation, but now I'm gonna show you why being in the grid is so useful. So now I'm gonna select everything and create the second variation of this extrusion, and then I'm gonna go build S prop to off. Gotta make sure I selected everything. Oh, well, I don't need the light, so. And I'm gonna place it here. So now there is a second variation that is gonna be, and this is where we go off grid, because now we have the base design. We don't care about the grid anymore, but we do care if this is on the right side or the left side of a building. So the second variation is going to be on grid 32. It's going to be on the right side. Not only that, I'm going to go into the pirate props and grab this little prop here. You see this lamp, and this is going to be the second way that you create an emissive window. To scale it up, and you place it here. You can even make it so that you don't see the texture of the window, you only see the lamp, which is also cool. So like if we move this, say 1 inside, maybe that works. It's a little scuffed, but you can fine-tune it by reducing the depth a little bit. I did notice that you can see the chain though, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it here or somewhere else, because you need the space above. But it's a really good emissive prop for attics as well. Attics is good because you can use it inverted. It's kind of hard to use it with this tile set, but it works with square windows usually. Go find a square window. It requires a specific type of square window that is a little smaller, because that just reads the max width, or the max size rather. Oh well, we'll keep it here, we'll use it later, but that's the second way. Another way you can do it is, I was trying to think of the right prop. Whipping Woods. If you go Whipping Woods, you grab this curtain here, place it inside. Scale it down a bit. And you have like little curtains. You don't have to be precise. As long as they can see that this is a curtain inside, then it should be good. And then for the blinders, or what are they called, I usually go Wild West. So Wild West has those little signs here. So if you grab any sign of these, you scale it up to what half of the window is. So if the window is this big, then we go half. Then you grab it, you reduce the depth a little bit, grab it again, and then you have a custom window shutter. I think they're called shutters, and you place one per side, so like this. Actually I can place them further inside. That also works. Hey, Zaza, thanks. So there you go. So now we have the second variation, which we can use anytime. What else? Let's see. Oh, intrusion. Is it called intrusion? Intrusion? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna do one that is going inside the building. So this one's easy. Just scale it down, go foreground, place a couple. Oh, it's not this. There's a gap here. Interesting. We do have the wooden material. And we have it here. Have one without wood. Need to grab one without wood. There we go. Okay, and then we need to cover the extra gaps. We use the same wood we used here. So we need to follow the same style. It's always good to be on the grid and just adjust the scale rather than just trying to place it manually, because then it saves you time when you're trying to move it somewhere else, you know? You have like the same pattern. You can move it and place it without having to move it again in a custom way. And this piece is great because if you don't want to use the bolts, then you just flip it around and you don't have to use the bolts anymore. Oh, looks stretched. Avoid stretching props too much. It's a bad habit. Okay, here we don't seem to need it. Alright, so we have the extrusion now. What else? We need more variations. We need it can be also props, right? It doesn't have to be something like structural. So it can be, say, I don't know, like this little crane, and then you go to pirates and grab like hanging crates, or you go to pirate again. I don't know why I left, and then you grab the rope. And then you can do something like, say, this. Then you can place the rope. One thing with the rope to remember, always flip it around. It will make your life easier later on. Well, in this case, it's upside down, so I need to not do that. But generally flip it around if you're placing centerliers, because then when you adjust the height, then it will scale the way you want it to. Here, if I wanted to adjust the height, I know it's scaling both sides now, but that's because I have that setting. And then we have this guy. Superman's War too. That'll be a challenge. It's kind of hard to outdo that level. that's one variation. There's also, I think there's a crane in Frenzy as well. Need to remember what it is. There it is. Frenzy Farm said. That's where I found it, but I don't know where else you find it, but it's Frenzy somewhere. You remember Frenzy somewhere. It's a bit less quality in terms of this guy, but it's a good prop nonetheless. Let me create some cover for the windows, because we're not gonna do interior. Easiest one is the black cube. Just place it in the grid and we're done. Another one is the, so let me move this outside so I don't forget it. Another one is the orange glow one. It's kind of hard to see. I think it's this one. Never mind, it's this one. Never mind, it's this one. Yep. I don't know why I did green there, but okay. And then another cool thing you can do is go to the normal cubes, small ones, and grab this little glowy disco, whatever it's called, tile, and just scale it up a bit and place it like this, so you get a more like texture lantern, I don't know, like curtain. So it could be like some sort of curtain that's been cast by light from a lantern or something. You can even scale it up so it's only one sewing if you don't want it to look that dense, and that way it looks only as if there's one source of light. If you have space though, looks like this. It's a cool effect. I don't know if the big one does a better job. Haven't tested. I think they're smaller, aren't they? Yeah, never mind. Yeah, it's a small one. Get this nice glowing effect that is also animated. You could also put those building signs from Neo Tilted that have cool designs. Building signs from Neo Tilted? Huh. This one? Wait, for what though? Like, what do you mean? Not prop gallery. Oh. Oh, you mean these ones? Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. I never thought of using them like that. Yeah, they're also animated, aren't they? Yeah, looks cool. Yeah, great idea. So yeah, we have this. What else do we need? Look at the reference. I mean, at this point, it's only clutter next to the houses. So, I mean, we do have an example now that I can show. So, how modular design works is that you build a house like this. Delete this. And then all you do is that you build a village out of this house. So now say I want to build a village, right? I say, oh, I like this side of the house. So I think we're off grid, so I think it might let us because I'm multi-selecting. So I'm like, yeah, let me build this, do something like this. I mean, the roof, I didn't create too many variations, so I don't have much of a choice. Just gonna copy this one, I guess. And then say I want this side. See, now you have your Lego set in a way, and you can just play with the pieces and just make something different. See, I want to make a staircase. I'll do something like this. Oh, I don't need a base in this case. There's nothing below. Gonna grab the curtain as well. These complex selections, always make sure you pick them up first so you see what you're missing. In this case, I'm missing this window here. The other player won't see it, but it's just good practice to do that. We don't need this because we have the base, or the base is the ground terrain. Then you copy, place. I need a balcony here. So something like, wait, do we have a variation of the other side? No, I don't. I mean, you're always gonna need more, let's face it. But the good thing is that you just adjust it as you go, and you have the base already made, which saves you tons of time. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, but it's a good piece to have nonetheless. Oh. Okay. So for this one, I want to make a unique floor. Now that floor doesn't have supports. Oh, actually it does, never mind. Yeah. Yeah. But even if it didn't, I just didn't select those pieces, you know? Now that I made it modular, you can just pick up the thing you want. Now we're gonna need a new variation of this roof, which I found in... I don't remember where I found this roof, to be honest. What type of roof? I did, okay. Oh, this one's easy. So with this, we can probably have like some garden stuff here, some extra like wood that they use in the fireplace. That's like that's a different topic altogether. So I'm just gonna focus on the architectural stuff for now. So yeah, I mean, even if you want to do like a little gate, now you have all the tools. You just go in and just build any size of a gate you want. Yeah, I mean, essentially Creative is a modular tile set on its own, so I'm just facilitating the process by putting groups of props instead of just props. And even if you think about it, prefabs is also the same principle. You can just place down prefab perfectly on the grid, then just copy a piece or a group of props that you need. Like decoration is an easy one. Let's see. Say we have a hill, right? I'm gonna make it like a generic hill and try to apply the modular tile set on the hill, right? So, because I don't want to bother too much by wasting your time by me building a cliff. I'm just gonna use this prop. Oop. I'm trying to build a custom cliff out of it. Just gonna scale it a little bit. So cliffs are usually off grid. They're like very weird, very like unconventional, very non-uniform and unsymmetrical. So that's what this hill is gonna be. Or actually, you know what? I'm gonna use for the upper part of the hill. I'm gonna use that piece that Tony showed me, so I didn't know existed. I think it's here. Yeah, so Monster Skull Large Prefab has this prop. It adds a little bit of moss as well. It's a pretty cool prop. Thanks, Tony. No, it's a different one. I'm gonna say, hey, you made it flat though. That's unfair. Just give me a second. I'm gonna make it be non-flat. Just want to create some sort of base. And I'm also gonna make it sloped, just to make it even harder. So like, add this slope here. Terrain is always organic, so it's out of the grid. And moving forward, I'm also going to show you how to build modular, but without the grid as well. It's another process. Because I haven't started on the tree houses yet. It should be off grid. A little bit overboard with this, but just want to make sure the slope is good looking. Okay. So where this is gonna be is gonna be here. It's like the most difficult place to be. Like half of it is gonna be hanging, half of it's gonna be on the terrain. So let's get started. First of all, we're talking foundations now. So we need stone. And actually we need this type of stone, because this is proper foundation. Come on. Let's see. What does the grid say? The grid says here. Yeah, I mean, why not? Let's do it here. We're not limited in any way. You can go upgrade if you want as well. There's nothing stopping you. Say, I'm gonna just place it here. Like this. So, foundations and stone. Again, I should have grabbed this part as well, because now you see the bottom side. Oh, I have collision and everything, that's why I couldn't like place it. Alright. So now, oh, I just realized this little stone matches with this stone. So that looks cool. But we need some proper foundations, right? Like we need some supports. So supports, Haunted is your best gallery for supports. There's so many. I don't know. You can do the one you like the most. I'm just gonna do one from the OG Haunted because it looks more mossy than the others. I'm gonna do this one. And given this is like a mossy area, I feel it'll go better. And if you want to add like vegetation afterwards as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like even like in the same grid or anything. Just make it look realistic, as in like somebody built it there and they wanted X and they did X. You can even add some wood beams as just for extra support. I know like Dark Souls likes to do that a lot. It's up to you. Now, terrain usually can be edited. If it cannot be edited, then that's why you have those supports here. Because now, if this terrain was uneditable, then I could just say, you know what, I'm just gonna build from this floor up, so my interior is not affected by the terrain overlapping. So that's another reason you have the foundation. So now I can just go like this. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not a fan of the stone I used for this floor. But you know what? Sometimes practice makes perfect. Okay, I don't need this piece now. So I'm just grabbing this part. Place it here. Another reason to stay on the grid is that you can place pieces perfectly from your modular template. Let's see if I have any tower. Let's just see. Let's take some ideas from. Ah, I could do an arts. I forgot about artists. Since I did the little thing here, you could do something like this as well. It's a little bit more Souls-like design, if you're into that stuff. And this can extend as high as you want, like it doesn't have to be there. Another thing cool that sometimes adds a little bit more character to like structures like that is that if you take some wood beams, say with one variation, and you do something like this, as if like they're going a little bit of maintenance or they're adding extra supports. And just play around with the PC so it looks kind of different. So like this. I know this overlaps now, but let's increase the depth, or actually the width. Oh. There we go. And then you can continue and do like a do this type, do this type. Alright, you can actually like continue to play with the stone. You don't have to do like wood on top. It can be like a sort of little castle or watchtower. I haven't made a template on that, so let me do one now. You know what? Let's do something different here. It's gonna place this so I can stand. There's multiple ways of doing that. It's kind of hard to remember which one is the best one, but I'm just gonna keep experimenting, see if I can find a good way of doing it. So curved walls. Those designs have a lot of curved walls. So I'm just gonna see which prop can do that the best. I feel it might be this one. It's the OG curved wall prop. There's probably better ways. I remember doing a better way in like that design I did a while back. Just can't remember what I did. Oh, actually pillars, that's the one I did. Yeah, so like the design is that it goes all around. It just extrudes from the corner of the building. And it's more like a round tower with a peak, or with like a little like dome on top of sorts. So in order to do that, you need something that can be rotated easily and looks different. And I think that would be, again, we go exterior. Now the difficulty about making this variation that I'm doing is that you cannot hide things below. That's the only problem. But I think that's the prop I used back then. It's a really cool prop. So for this one, since I'm doing a perfect circle, might as well go ring gallery, grab a ruler of sorts. Say I want to do something like this, right? I think that's a good size. I go in and I try to match the pieces based on the circle. I mean, this is the moment where I can go off grid if I wanted to, and it kind of helps because I can add variation easier that way. Oh. Give me guys a sec. Sorry about that. So this is not the circle trick if you were asking. This is more about making a design that is on a circle. It's a different thing. Because circle trick means all pieces are identical. In this one you can add variation as you go. Because you don't want the same pattern looking like this, you know? You want the pieces to look different so the eye doesn't stick to the details and see the repetition. Can even play with pieces sideways if I wanted to. Just add a little bit more variety. This piece is sticking up a lot, so another thing I can do is flip it. I'm a building in 5 flight speed. It's like no good. And with the same way you can build like castle walls that are broken down. It doesn't have to be one that is perfectly normal. What you really need to is that the pieces need to look like they're structured right next to each other. Play with the variation, avoid repetition, make them look like they're placed next to each other. It's not the easiest thing, especially with this piece. It just takes a little bit of experimenting. You know what? I'm gonna do something else. So, I'm gonna start basic. I'm gonna create 4 variations of the same prop. Place them right next to each other. That's my wall. It's always easier to build on the ground. Doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it gets the job done. And we need a window as well. So this guy. Window would be a little bit hard to formulate with these rocks. So a way to do it is by finding an actual window from external. Say I need something thin, but I'm gonna grab a door instead of a window because I'm gonna scale it down so that it can fit there, and because the door has a bigger frame than a window, when I scale it down it still looks like a window, you see, like at least the size of a window. Whereas if I do that with a window, you get like a very tiny window. I'm just gonna place somewhere here. Fix this rock a little bit. Commucopia, what is that? Burnacles, what is all that? Yeah, I need to Google that. I need to see what that is. What? Why is that hard though? Just grab a bunch of indoor stuff and just place them together. It's pretty easy to do. No. 1v1, I stay away. I don't do that. That is too hard, dude. That is like, can't even imagine where you begin. Alright, we need some sort of round floor, and we go princess for that. That's the only stone round floor that I know of. That looks pretty good. Oh, it was actually perfect size as well. We don't need the ring anymore. So there. It's a little bit big, not gonna lie. And to be honest, I should have made like a full round one. I probably could. All I do is copy everything. Bring it down here. Because all this is off grid, I need to be a little careful when I place stuff. Then we need a roof, which again Princess Gallery has one. I'll go with the black one because it looks cool. Transition's a little bit rough, so what I'm gonna do is place one of those floors, scale it up a bit. Second floor of our building. This doesn't require a grid. As long as we place it accurately, have an idea where it's gonna be. It's good to just like this. I mean, it's a little bit big for our building here, so we need great supports below. So that's what I'm gonna build now. Give me guys a sec. It's still for day apparently. Alright, and just not to ruin the look of the building. I'm just gonna move this away now. Trying to build it as close to the grid as possible. And now I think we need different trim here, because it's a different type of building. Again, you go EXT, let's go for this tile set, and you grab this guy. And in this case, oh my god, with the telephones, give me a sec. Hey Vita, I'm showing how to do modular buildings. So this one is only we need the corner piece, but not the same type. Let's see which one fits. This one. I don't think they have house lights today. Let's see, what happens if I copy this guy and try and make it into a pulse light? Bad, it's not good either, but I'm gonna go with it because it looks different. Seem to find some sort of stone, you know, that I can use everywhere. Can't believe I have one. This was pretty good. Let's see. Could blend with the lower floor, but I wanted something that is. I think this guy might have one. So I want something like, what is it? Like this one. It's a little bit more flat and tall. Could do this. Actually, I could just grab one and just scale it down, I guess. Nah. Maybe. And keep in mind that your design completely changes if you're doing an interior build as well. Like, I wouldn't be so careless if I was to care about the interior. Not that I can't do one, but there's a few little things that I had to change. Alright, so this one requires something similar to what I did here. Hey, let me try something. What if I do this? Oh, wait, no. What if I did the circle trick in this building, in this structure? Let's see. How would it look? It looks custom. I don't like it. Maybe a little better. Very thick turret. What? It's meant to be a watchtower. Are they called turrets? Can't see you? What? What am I? John Cena? Alright, in a base. Do we have a round base, I wonder? I think we have one in Princess, but I don't think the colors fit. I could try to make one. Maybe I can make it like octagonal or something. Do we have one? Oh well, no worries. Just gonna grab this guy. Just on the grid. Do this. There we go. Hey, a little tower thing that pokes out of a wall or a bigger tower is called a turret. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. No. And here you want to make it so that somebody comes from the lower side. Again, you go ext, you type it, remove the search term, then you go to this one, which is the floor gallery, and you grab this guy. There you go. Probably bad placement. Here makes more sense. Could even make this window be 2 floors high. And the reason I did it like this is usually they have a staircase. You can see both. But yeah. So yeah, that's how you build on a cliff. That's the beauty of modular design. And like again, I didn't go 100% modular because otherwise I wouldn't have to design a single thing here. But we kind of wanted like a round tower or a round turret rather. So yeah. So we have a tower, we have a house. This house was built entirely modular, which shows what you can do if you have like a nice template. Let's do one more. Let's do like let's do a house on a cliff because we did a castle on a cliff. Let's do a house on a cliff. So now I'm gonna go modular on the actual cliff, so I don't have to design that one. So I actually want to go full modular or something. You always select something to make a brush instead of just copying something, right? So that's how you make something even faster. So say I want to do like a treehouse this time. That's a bad brush of sorts. So I think I'm skipping ahead, but what I mean by brush is that if you want to go off-grid modularity, then you find something that works as a brush. Usually I do that with cliffs. Let me show you the cliffs first so I can make it easier to understand. Usually what you do when you want to make a cliff brush is that you grab this piece and this piece. You always scale them to what you need them to be scaled. I'm not gonna do that now because I don't have something that I need specifically. But yeah, essentially you place them down in this format. Make sure you don't have seams between the pieces because Fortnite tends to do that when you rotate stuff. See, I have one here. I reset, place again, reset, place again. There's another one here. You reset and place again until you have no seams, because this will be everywhere. One mistake and the mistake will be everywhere. So after I have that, I just grab the full thing, go off grid and start making cliffs out of these cliffs like this. So this is modularity without a grid. And you can even have different brushes by just creating variations. sure to blend the pieces correctly. So what I did there is that I actually made another brush. It's a little bit more of a complex design. But now with this brush, I can make an even more complex terrain. Keep in mind this process will use a lot of props, so keep that in mind. But it's mainly for realistic terrain. Also notice that I'm playing with verticality a little bit. I'm not placing them exactly right next to each other. And that creates a little bit of a difference in height and variety. I haven't done a perfect job on hiding the seams on the backside. This is mainly an example. Again, this is going to use a lot of pieces, be prepared. Only do this if you really want realistic terrain. You don't care about memory. For example, in an Excel island format. Then you need more brushes, like the under cliff prop. So this one. Oh. Always scale in like increments of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get doubles. Seams. Usually the brush that has been rotated 180 degrees will have the seam 100%. You can even make caves by just copying this to the other side. If you don't want to have the traditional caves, you want to make your own. But yeah, that's modularity when doing terrain, or rather being outside the grid. And you can apply this principle to buildings as well. So, for example, it's gonna build a treehouse now. I don't know if you've seen the treehouse that I built in like Chip's tournament. But essentially, that's the idea. So, just took a huge trunk. Let's go nature. Find the biggest trunk you can. No, there's a big one somewhere. I need to remember where. Anyway, can use this guy. So say I want to build a treehouse, right? Branches should be facing up. Just gonna quickly make a tree, custom tree. Sketchfab. I use Pinterest. Pinterest has a lot of cool stuff. I haven't used Sketchfab, but yeah, it's definitely a great place. So we have our tree, make a base a little bit more interesting. These guys around. There's a couple variations on the ground. Okay, it's not the most perfect base, but always give it more thought if it's in your game, you know. Anyway, so we have the base. Let me make some roots just to make it more convincing. I don't know why I'm getting so extra, but it's always good to make it look good. Okay, and then say you want to build like a little tree house, right? Or more like a tree village, because why not? You can use this little guy here. Or actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna do a new one. So a small tree house, because it's a relatively small tree. So we do all sides. So we need a window. The first one has to always be built on the grid. And what about the I like this little floor roof piece for built like that. The Viking is the gallery that has it. So we have this little house. With a little hut. Oh, actually, I don't know how this roof is called. I mean the material. Hay? I don't know. Let's see if I can make it this small. Probably not. Doesn't even follow the grid anymore. That's the minimum scale. Interesting. Okay. Different approach. So this one is a quarter of a tile, so I place it here. Try to make it tile with something. So this would be ideal. So I need the center pieces to form a little bit of a better design. Let's see what happens if I do this. The multi-selection causing it. Okay. Again, I'm just making a modular roof that I will use later for the entire village. Here is where you go into a lot of detail. Trying to get something that you like. And it's a step you never rust. Because if you rust this step, everything's gonna look bad. Interesting roof. Can't say I like it though. Unless nah. Anything else we can use? Oh well, it's gonna make it easier on myself. It was worth the effort though. Complex is good, but it has to look good as well. If it doesn't, why not go with something that works, like this guy here. This could be a gazebo if I use this guy. So now, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create little paths. So scale it down to half, 3, 4, 5. And then I need all sorts of variations. And I'm gonna use, where's that? I'm gonna use the one from Dino. This little guy. The only thing I'm gonna do different here is I'm gonna clone this, place it a little smaller, place it this side as well. Actually, I think it looks cool. I'm gonna do it everywhere. Okay, so this is my modular tile set. I need a staircase. I think wood, something has a funny looking wooden staircase. I need it to be half. Alright, so now what you do is you grab a straight path and start making a path. Oh, I realized I don't need the other. I only need one. So this is how I did it in the competition as well. I made my own tile set. And I started crafting something custom without the grid. Another useful thing is to be on 0.5 so you have precision. I don't know what I made, everything so far away. So you want a path that goes around like this. Maybe another one up here. You want one that is connecting to, say, another tree, because like forest villages are usually multiple trees. Grab the supports from this guy. Always add supports, they look cool. And they make things more functional, and they make them more realistic and believable. It's not hard to do anyway, it's pretty fun. Okay, and then we use the staircase we had to start connecting things. Well, you notice that I wasn't exactly in the grid, so now things won't be perfectly aligned. But that's fine because this is a more organic build. You can have things connect as you want, and then add extra pieces to make them connect. Like in this case, I'm just gonna tilt this staircase a little bit, and then we don't need this anymore. Don't be afraid to delete stuff. You always need something that works, and if it doesn't work, just get rid of it. Okay, so here we need a smaller platform, right? Oh, I do like this one, but there's one in minors, I feel. That's pretty good. Yeah, this one. It's multiple you can use. But I like this one, and then I like even smaller ones, which I'm gonna show you in a bit. I like using Frenzy. There's like a pile of wood from Frenzy that I love using. It doesn't really fit the color. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use the Frenzy one because this one is a little darker. Oh, really? I need to try that too, Steve. It's not really hard. I've done it. I think I've done it twice. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, yeah, the roofs and everything. Again, you can do the same thing. Like build a modular Japanese like roof building, and then you can just copy it anywhere. Alright, here, I don't know, you may need like a little ladder to get up there. So maybe... let me think, how we can make a ladder? There's two, weren't they? I think there's two ladders somewhere. Search the pro browser. Oh yeah. So Slurp Swamp has the ladder, if you're curious. You can always make it functional by adding a couple of pirate planks to just make the flare go up. But yeah. But we haven't added any houses yet, so let me do that now. Oh, we need the floor as well. Okay, and being a modular building, I shouldn't build it in the ground because we need supports. However, the supports can be modular as well. I don't have to place them together with a building. And now this is the time where you go off grid. Then You need two things. You need branches, because supports doesn't always have to mean man-made. Can also be a branch. So let's think. How do we do a nice branch? Doesn't have empty planes, because that route that I was using has empty planes. Let's see what nature has. Actually, I could probably use this one, and the empty place could be facing the building, or rather the house. So maybe that could work. Let's see. I mean, the only thing I don't like is that it's not the same color. If the tree branch, the tree trunk was a little bit darker, it would be chilling. Let me see if there's any other that I'm missing. I mean, I could probably get a tree trunk from somewhere. Don't want to use this tree here, the dead one, because it's a little bit too wonky for like using it as a piece. Something from here, I feel. The only problem with these pieces is that they like the curvature, you know? Like, I'm trying to think. Probably make our own similar process, but with trunks. Variation of that. What is this one? And a fan. But yeah, same process with this. We'll build one branch and then clone it everywhere. It's a bit more difficult to do these guys. Or not difficult, it's more time consuming rather. use of grid. Here, because they're very close to each other, you need to find a way to blend them a little bit better, otherwise you're going to be able to see the repetition. So like this, make it a little harder for the eye to spot that these are identical. And then you can also do something like this, where we have only one of the branches. Again, just to break the repetition. Same process. As you can see now, it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes into the stream, and look at how many things we've built. Like, it's really easy to build once you learn the process of modular design. You can do so much more, so much faster, and then it escalates beautifully the more you build. Because it handles the little details, you know? It handles the things that are very tedious to do. Now I can even go find this little balcony. Has a little support as well, and use it for houses. So the doors are not floating. That thing. Where did I place it? Below. I swear it was here. Oh, there we go. Damn. How was that so hard? It's a walkable one where it's wooden. Oh. I mean for the ladder. Yeah, I know. It's not vertical though, is it? And you can also mix and match themes. You don't have to always do the same thing. Here I can add like a little crane that they did some stuff up. Or up here rather. Oop, bad placement. You want to block the path. Even though I've done it before. It's a little better. Now I'm creating a new type of cliff. So I'm gonna copy all the way up. Except this piece. And then just go here. So always think modular and you'll build way faster. Of course, modularity doesn't apply when you have lots of variations. But where modularity can apply is that you build the base with the modular concept, and then you add the variations on top, kind of like what I did in the treehouse. And you can also tweak it afterwards to break the repetition. Multi-select is your friend, essentially. Hey, CV. I mean, it is good for skill builds, but it's also good when you're building everything. You learn to use modularity when you really need it to. You're gonna build so much more, because like when doing like large builds, like say for me when I did like salvage, right? I had to have like some sort of template for building buildings, and then go from there and do like the whole modular build, because otherwise like there's just so much to build. You can't just manage as a single creator to just do all that, whereas with modularity you can do that. It just lowers workload, is what I'm trying to say. Huge box. Collision box is so huge. But oh, something else. It's blocking me. Oh, it's this guy. Wow. Okay. What? Oh, it's this? Oh, it is this. Okay. Oh yeah. The trick is to find a way to build the base and then add detail on top. You don't have to build with a detailed mindset straight from the when building like something. Just build the core, have fun. Not have fun yet. Build the core with modularity and then have fun on the details rather than starting to have fun on the base and then getting tired of the building half of a mountain, you know? Like, would you say that I built all this in what, half an hour? Probably less. I wouldn't be able to do it unless I was doing those little tricks. Alright, so supports. Let's get back to the supports. So I have a few houses here that don't have any. Alright. But yeah, I don't want to keep this being too long. The general concept is, I think, general principles I explained from modularity. So I think I'm gonna stop it here. Just one more thing. You can also do this with detail. Like, let me give you one example before I stop this. So I want to add like a lot of detail in medieval, say interior or exterior, or in my tree village there. So usually you build a cluster of props. You add the detail on those clusters. Like for example, I can grab a couple of flanks, place like this. Maybe I want some rugs. Go to it low. So this is the step that takes the longest of time, but you need to make sure that this is done perfectly. So say you have this little cluster of props, you just copy it in places and that's it. You can even toy with it after you placed it. Just a couple of times. Oh, I need to be in a different flight speed. This is hard. So yeah, those principles apply to props as well. If you want to do decoration in a lot of places. I mean, this synergistic build, this people won't come up here, so I'm just gonna place it in the middle of the path, just to illustrate, or maybe even inside a house, as long as it doesn't overlap anything. And you can play with the props, just move them around. To create, to break the repetition for the most part. And also keep in mind, the moment you move something around, you create another variation that you can use as a brush and move to places. And with that, you just have a place that is full of props now. You didn't even need to place them manually. So yeah, you can do that with everything. It's just a general level design like way of building. Build with multi-select. I cannot stress this enough. You'll build so much faster, and it works well with motivation as well, because the moment you see something finished or something that is close to finished with detail and everything, just your brain instantly likes it and it's like, yeah, let's do more, and then that's where you commit and do something that is beyond amazing, you know. But if you didn't have that basic step to do the hard work for you, you won't be able to reach this part where you're gonna say, hey, let's do this extra thing that nobody would otherwise do, because I have time now. I didn't have to design other things. So that's how it goes. That's how you build something that is pretty good. And it all starts by knowing how to build, being efficient. So yeah, there we go. Let me go grab some images. Yeah. Yeah, I won't close it yet. Just let me grab a few more images for replay mode. See how it looks. Let me close the reference picture. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the stream, and I'll catch you next one. See you guys.